So I'm starting this vlog just basically for myself, or to also help somebody that may be going through the same thing that I went through and can't really find many resources on what they're going through. So I'm gonna start by saying, let me start with the story of what happened. Um, so July of last year, during the whole COVID ordeal, and we're still dealing with it now. Um, I found out that I was pregnant, and I was 5 weeks at the time. And after, let's see, uh, July, I started feeling, no, it wasn't July. It wasn't until October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I started feeling a lump in my, well, I felt a lump in my breast, and I also felt pain like within that lump. So I figured, hey, it's just, you're pregnant, that's the first thing you think. You're pregnant, so, that's something that is normal, that it happens. It's just part of pregnancy. But I actually did. Something told me, hey, just go ahead and mention it to your OB. So I told her about it, and she felt around to see if she could feel it, and she actually did. And she explained to me, well, it's possible it's just a fibroadenoma. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but she said it could possibly be that. So I went on, I didn't think nothing of it, but she also did say, but it won't hurt for us to get it checked out by a breast specialist. So I'm grateful that she, went on ahead and referred me over to a breast specialist. So what they did after that was I had an ultrasound done. Because I was pregnant, they didn't want to do a mammogram and expose me to like the radiation or anything. So we went on ahead and did the ultrasound, and as I looked at the screen, I could see like at the time I didn't know it was a tumor, but I could see the tumor on the screen. And so they measured it, and it measured 2.5 centimeters, and it didn't mean nothing to me because I was going around, hey, I don't have breast cancer. That's not possible for me. I'm 30 years old. I'm healthy. I feel good, But yeah. So we went on ahead and did that, and then after that, I had an appointment with the breast specialist, so that was gonna determine if I had it or not, because he had to do a biopsy. And so the day that I went for the biopsy, I did read about like biopsy. I googled some stuff about breast biopsies and stuff like that, just to see what I was in for. Once he took out that needle, I was like, where's the exit? It was that bad, excuse me, but yeah, it was that bad. Like, I don't want to scare you, but he took out that needle, and that needle is like this long, and it's a biopsy needle, and I think they call it core biopsy or something like that. So the cancer was located right under there, and he had to go in with that biopsy needle. And every time he like did that with it, my body was like shaking. It was that much force it took to take the tissue out. So I don't know, maybe it's in my mind, but I think that is how it went for me. And I can laugh at it now because it is kind of funny, but I was scared. Like, I was really scared at the time. But anyway, enough of that. So he did it 3 times to make sure he had enough tissue so they can send that sample over to the pathologist so they can, look over it and see if it's cancerous or not. So, a week and a half went by, I want to say. Maybe it was just a week, because it felt like the turnaround time was so fast on when he told me that, when he called me over the phone. So, when he called me on the phone, my husband, he was actually home at the time. He wasn't home, but he was on lunch at the time, and I put him on speaker. My happy-go-lucky self just sitting there like, I just knew that it wasn't cancerous, and he was gonna deliver the oh, Tracy, it was nothing. It's just a fibroadenoma, whatever my OB said it was. But my husband could tell that he had bad news over the phone. And now that I look back at it, yes, the way his tone was, I should have known that it was gonna be bad, but I couldn't wrap my mind around, the fact that it was actually cancer. So yeah, he said just like this, Tracy, without my smile, okay, because I want to deliver it like he delivered it, because I can still hear it in my head. So he said, Tracy, I hate to tell you, but no, he didn't even say I hate to tell you. He just said, Tracy, it's cancer. And so I was like, everything just changed, like right in that instant. Everything would change. Like my emotions were everywhere, and I was like, oh my goodness, like where do I go from here? Like, and then I'm pregnant and I have cancer. Like, how is this possible? How is this even like, how could this happen to me, basically? So after I got that news, that next day he did schedule an appointment. That was on a Saturday morning. He scheduled an appointment because he wanted to meet with me and my husband as soon as possible, to explain, what type of cancer it was, and just a whole lot of, how the plan that he laid out, which I didn't have any idea of what I would be going through, but he went on ahead and once we got there, he laid out the plan. It was on a sheet of paper. Everything was just, in line. And now that I look back at it, I'm like, I'm very grateful that a plan was in place, so that I can get through, what I was going through. So, I found out that it was, y'all excuse my hair, I did not brush it today. This side note, yeah, I didn't brush it today, and I had on a wig, so yeah, excuse that. But where was I? We met with him, and he told me what type of cancer it was. So it was invasive ductal carcinoma, and it was triple negative. And so that meant nothing to me at the time. And I think I went home and Googled about it. And I want to side note again and say, do not Google, please, for your sake. Don't Google about it. I mean, you can, try if you want to find out more about it, Google it, but don't get all entangled into your Googling to where you start thinking that you're dying, because basically I had to rope myself off. Like, Tracy, this was the end. This you're not gonna get through this. Basically, I told myself, So moving on from there, I know that was sad, right? Yeah. But moving on from there, what did we do after we spoke with the surgeon? Yeah, he laid out the plan. He told me it was invasive ductal carcinoma. It was 2.5 centimeters. Basically, I was stage 2 already, because of the size. And from there, because I was pregnant, I could not have any, I couldn't have a PET scan done. It was I think now that I've looked over some stuff, I could have had a CT done, just in that area, not, where the baby was or anything, but I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe I could have had a CT done. But it really wasn't really necessary at the time, just for known purposes of, if, I guess basically if it had didn't spread or anything, but I don't know. I don't know. But so let's continue. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's continue with my story. So no, I did not have any scans done. It was just a biopsy, and we went off of that. So I did have many emotions going on at that time, because I was like, how can I have, still continue this pregnancy and go through chemotherapy at the same time? Because invasive ductal carcinoma, if you know anything about it, it is and being that it's triple negative, it is an aggressive form of cancer. So he was like, you're gonna have to start treatment right away. So I was 13 weeks at the time when I found that out. And so I went to, at 13 weeks, I think I may have been around 14 or 15 when I actually got my port placed. And that was here. They placed the port in there, and yes, it was a surgery. I had to go under anesthesia for it. So they placed the port, and after the anesthesia wore off, I was able to go home. And that day I was in a bit of pain. It wasn't bad, like I could tolerate it, but it was enough pain for me to have to take Tylenol. So I did take Tylenol that night. And that week of after that surgery, that port placement, it was sore, but after a while it went away. So I was okay. But and I had grown to love my port after all was said and done, and it was in there and doing what it had to do, in order for me to receive my treatment. So after that, I believe I started chemotherapy 2 days after I had the port placed in there. And I didn't know I could, it could be done so soon, because I thought the area had to heal or something. But I was able to start chemotherapy. And I started on 2 chemotherapies. And that was adriamycin and Cytoxan. And if you know anything about adriamycin, and I know a lot of people do, it comes out in the, the bag that they have to hang on the pole, the little, they hang it, and they actually have to administer it. They have to administer it through the tubing, like manually. Like the machine can't do it for you, because I guess it has to go at a certain pace. And that's over 20 minutes that they did that. So, but I was saying, the bag itself, like, it's so intimidating, because you're like, why is it red? Like, and they call it the red devil. So, like, you're looking like, oh my, do I really have to get this, like, put in? No. Like, and then the nurses, they come out with their, they have to put on this get up that has, they can't splash it on them, just in case the stuff splashed on them. Like, it's very hazardous. So I'm looking like, this was my first day. No, like, where's the nearest exit? Because no. But okay, over that. So they administered that. They sat there for 20 minutes and manually did it. And then after that, they also had Cytoxan that I think went over an hour. But they put it in the machine, and it was able to, go through. So I sat there for, I think the first time I had the chemotherapy treatment, I had to sit there for 3 hours total, because they wanted to make sure that I was okay. after I received treatment. So yeah, I sat there and waited, and my husband, he was actually able to come with me during that time, that first time. Because of COVID, after that first time, I was on my own. But I really didn't feel on my own because I had the nurses there to, keep me company. But yeah, I didn't have family, so that was, kind of a big thing for me. I would have rather somebody sat there with me just to keep me company, but it was fine. It worked out. It was okay. It was okay. Um, Other than that, after that treatment, I would say that I was tired for the first 2 days. Yeah, the first 2 days I was like fatigued. And I guess that was just my body trying to respond to the medication of it all. And I want to say, before they even administer the chemotherapy, they do give you steroids. So those steroids, they really did help. They really, really did help. I didn't have nausea. I didn't vomit like I didn't have none of that. Like, I was just tired. That was it. Like, the main thing. And that was only adriamycin that did that to me. It could have possibly been the Cytoxin too, but I really believe it was the adriamycin. So I had that treatment 4 times over the course of, I think it was over 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks I would have that treatment, and that was 4 times. So once I was done with that, I started on the Cytoxin. Nope, I did a Cytoxin. I started on the Taxol. So I started on the Taxol, and Taxol it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. Like, the worst was over with adriamycin. I really believe that was the bad stuff, but the Taxol wasn't too bad. And I want to go back and say the adriamycin is what made my hair fall out. And I'll probably talk about my hair in another video, because I don't want to go all the way back and talk about that, because that was a story within itself. But yeah, so I started the Taxol, and it was decent, and my hair actually started growing back. But and my oncologist did tell me that my hair would grow back on Taxol, and it sort of did. So I was kind of happy to see my hair, coming back in. But the thing is, with Taxol, your eyebrows fall off. So I had eyebrows with adriamycin and Cytoxin up until I started Taxol. And I think it was like my 5th or 6th treatment. It was my eyebrows and my eyelashes. It fell off. I didn't notice it, but over time, I was like, hey, my eyebrows are gone. And it was short-lived, but yeah, they were gone. And I think, like, right after that, that's when I started penciling them in. And I did buy a little, it's not an actual pencil, it's a liquid pencil, I guess, if you want to call it. And it really looked like my real eyebrows. I really liked that little pencil. But after the Taxol, I was scheduled for surgery. So no, back. After Taxol, I delivered Aria. She is a story within herself too, so that'll be another video. So I had Aria in April, and then in May, the end of May is when I was scheduled for surgery. So I opted to have a double mastectomy, and I also had a hysterectomy done at the same time. If you know anything about my cancer, and if you know anything about the BRCA gene, then that is why. Hold on. Yeah, so I was saying, if you know anything about the BRCA mutation, that what steered me to make the decision to have the double mastectomy done and the hysterectomy at the same time. Hold on one more time. Okay, so I'm back. Look who I got. She decided to wake up and grace us with her presence. Yeah, it's funny because her middle name is Grace. But you wanna say hey, Aria? You wanna say hey? Hello, hello, everyone. But but yeah, where was I? So we did the. Okay, I got to surgery. So we scheduled the surgery from in May, at the end of May of this year, and I had to, because of the BRCA mutation, I opted for the double mastectomy and a hysterectomy. So it's ironic because, you know, she would have been my last baby, you know. So I'm just glad it just worked out. Like, God is good and He knows what He's doing. So, yeah. So I had her. Then we did the surgery. Um, I had my breast specialist. He took the breast tissue, you know, did the surgery with the took the breast tissue out and everything. And then I had my OB. She came in and did the hysterectomy. And then the plastic surgeon had to come in and place the tissue expanders. And that's what I have now, are tissue expanders. So, you see my hand, Mama? So, after surgery, after the anesthesia wore off, I was in a bit of pain. It wasn't bad. It was tolerable, but for the most part, I was numb. Like under here, under both sides, I was very numb. Like I couldn't feel anything. My skin, I can touch my skin and not feel it. Like I had no feeling whatsoever. But when they take that breast tissue out, they're, you know, the nerves are going with them. So that was that. So they, after surgery, they taught me how to do like the little, hey, they taught me how to do the exercises with your arm to, I don't think I can lift them above my shoulder, but they teach you how to do the exercise with your arm so that you regain that feeling and the motions in your arms. And I have like a whole little booklet on the different exercises that you can do. But I think I was so, and I don't want to say I was so busy, but I did rest and relax and all of that. But being young and a mom, I was still, no, I didn't pick up, I wasn't able, they told me not to pick up anything heavier than 10 pounds. And Aria was 5 pounds. Yeah, 5 pounds 6 ounces when she was born, because she actually did come at 37 weeks, and that's a whole nother story. But I couldn't pick up nothing heavier than 10 pounds initially. And did I hold Aria? I did hold Aria. Held her. I didn't start holding her until I felt ready. So after surgery. So then I went to see my plastic surgeon at his office, and that's when we started. That's when I got my first feel again. No, it was actually my second feel, because at surgery he filled it to 150 cc's. So, and they were put, the tissue expanders are placed under that muscle, so I guess it gives it a more natural look. That's another story. But after he filled them up, I think he did another. Did he do 100? He did 150 cc's again. I think the capacity of my tissue expanders are 535 cc's, and that's where they are now. They're 535. So we did 150. I think each time I went to the office, and that was maybe two other times that I went after that to get it to where they needed to be, and that was that. I want to report that it was a bit of, I think once I started getting higher in those numbers, I know once I got to 535, I was in pain. Like that, the day I came back home from his office, I was in pain. Like I was in tears in pain. So the first couple of times it wasn't too bad. It was discomfort, but the pain hit once they got like to the capacity that the tissue expanders were. So I think I saw my breast specialist one more time within that time frame of having my tissue expanders expanded, and everything. He gave me my pathology report. He said that everything was taken out. The only thing was that I had 16 millimeters of residual cancer that the chemotherapy did not cure. They were expecting for the chemotherapy to take away, the whole tumor so that it disappears. But it doesn't happen all the time. So that's when, you get referred over to a radiation oncologist. So that's what happened after that. I went on ahead and saw the radiation oncologist, and because of the type of cancer, and I know I refer back to because of the type of cancer that it was, my cancer has a higher chance of reoccurring. So we went ahead and opted to have the radiation done, and today I'm happy to report that I'm actually done with radiation. I'm ecstatic. What's that? I saw a face. But I'm very happy that that is behind me. I'm glad, I built some relationships. You about to throw up? Or spit up? No? Okay, I thought you were. But I built some really good relationship. I knew she was gonna spit up. Where's your little thingy? I know, mommy just let it fall like that. But I built some really good relationships with the radiation technicians. I'm glad, the people that I met along my journey has been great. They all like just took care of me, and I'm really grateful for having them around me. Other than that, that's where I am in my journey. I still have a meeting with my oncologist tomorrow to go over it's a chemotherapy pill that they want to start me on, and that's just because of the residual cancer that was still there at the time of surgery. I mean, it's gone now, but just to in hopes of preventing the reoccurrence. We're gonna start on that Zolota pill. So I'll report back about how that goes, and that's pretty much the end of the beginning, if that's a thing. So you want to say bye bye? Want to say bye bye? Bye. So if you want, you can definitely like this video. You can comment. Please keep it positive. I really appreciate that. And subscribe if you like. And like I said, I'm only doing these videos to help someone that may be going through the same thing that I've went through, because there were hardly any resources out there for me to go by. I thought it was totally something that I couldn't do, but I'm very happy with the outcome of how my journey has been going. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.